Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't you love it when you find a new podcast you really like? Well, let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm Mike Carruthers, the host, and in every episode, you'll hear fascinating information that will make your life better from top experts. Recently, we've done episodes on why you have the personality you do, the science of luck, and the psychology of a restaurant menu. You're going to like Something You Should Know. We have literally thousands of 5-star reviews. Look for Something You Should Know wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? So happy to be here with you for this beautiful moment in time on this momentous anniversary. Wow, what a day.
We're very excited. It really is quite a day. Today, in case you missed it, marks the 20th anniversary of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, airing here in the United States. It was 20 years ago today, Friday, March 10th, 1997, when we first got to gaze our eyes upon Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And because of that, we wanted to give you a special tiny little episode where we talk a little bit about how we came to the show, what the show means to us, and then we wanted to share with you a special song for today.
Hell yeah. Hellmouth yeah.
Wow, we did it. We did it. We played the theme song of our podcast.
Effortlessly.
You made a joke about Hellmouth yeah, and now here we are in the core
on the other side
of this
of it.
Little episode.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about how when you said it was 20 years ago to the day, that it sounded like the beginning of a spooky story, but it's actually the beginning of a much more varied and lush story than that. It is spooky at times.
Wow, do you have your poet hat on today?
I do. I always wear my poet hat. You know this.
That's true.
We live together.
That's true.
It's always, never on the hat hook.
Always with that baseball cap on that just says poet across the front.
Yeah. So what does Buffy mean to us?
Wow. Well, you first came to Buffy the Vampire Slayer between the two of us. Not first in the universe, although who knows? You could have been up there at the front of the line.
Yeah.
But you were there first and you brought me in. So tell us about how you got there.
Well, I can remember going to the video rental store in my town. It was not a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video. It was like...
Ooh, mine was Carner Video.
Ooh, I can't remember the name of mine and I'm so bummed. I should have called my mom before we started taping. But I walked around the aisles and saw this movie called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And, you know, I don't know what I was, like 8 or 10 or something. And I was like,
when did it come out in 1990?
92. Oh, so I guess I was, like 11.
Yeah, you were 11.
Or by the time I got to video, maybe I was 12. Okay, this is not the point. The point is that I saw this video. The name just like tickled me to death. And I was like, we have to rent this. And we took it home and watched it. And I was like, what a fun romp. That was a delightful tale of vampires and cheerleaders and so many delicious stereotypes. And then so many delicious subvertings of those stereotypes. Great. Okay. Then years went by. And then the show came out. And I watched the first episode when it aired. And
you watched season 1, episode 1 on March 10th, 1997.
Yeah.
So,
20 years ago to the day.
That makes me feel really cool being in the room with you.
Thank you.
I mean, I might have watched it myself. I don't have a memory of watching it, but there were like 3 channels for us when.
Right, there was so little TV to choose from.
The
odds are pretty good that you watched it.
Right, what else would I have been doing? Maybe I was talking on the phone.
Maybe curling your phone cord around your wrist.
Was that a gateway to Joss Whedon for you? Was Buffy your Joss Whedon doorway?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like the most worthwhile.
Wow. What a statement.
I mean, I don't think it's that much of a statement. I think it's like the most sensical. Like, I think it's his masterpiece.
Right.
I think Angel is great. I think Firefly is great.
I just think you're going to get a lot of feedback is all I'm saying.
People can talk. That's fine. But my opinion is that it is the best thing that he's done.
Well,
I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. But I'm making a podcast about the show. Of course, I think it's the best thing he's done. God, I would be doing a podcast about something else that he made if I thought that was the best thing. This is my favorite thing.
Well, you were my gateway to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's not usually how that sentence ends.
You were my gateway to the television series, not the movie. I had a very, very sordid love affair with the movie when the movie was out.
Sordid, you said.
It's sordid. I don't know why I said it. I just want to make it sound intense. But yeah, I loved the movie. Knowing nothing else, I didn't really know where the character had come from. I didn't know about Joss Whedon. All I knew was like Luke Perry was in a movie because Luke Perry was a hotshot. Like,
oh yeah.
Big time deal in 1992.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was like peak, fucking peak Luke Perry.
Hell yeah.
So I watched the movie, and then the show came out, and of course I knew the characters. I knew who Willow was in the 90s. I knew who Xander was in the 90s. Of course, I knew Buffy and Cordelia, but I didn't follow the show. I didn't follow the storyline. And then we got together and you were like, here's the thing. You have to watch this show. And I was like, oh, God, I don't watch shows like this. Who was I? Who was I back in 2009?
You didn't know. How could you know?
I didn't know. Like we said.
Because there is no show like this. That's the thing. There was no precedent by which you could measure this show without seeing it.
True. And like we said in our very first episode, there are 2 kinds of people, right? There are the people who love Buffy. And there are the people who will not allow themselves to love Buffy. And I was in camp 2 back in 2009.
Yeah, you were.
And then we started our watch, and I was still in camp 2. Did not like season 1. Didn't get through it. And then Jenny pulled a covert move. Said, all right, let's start with season 2, and then forget it. And then my life was forever changed. Literally.
Now here we are.
More changed than I could have even known at the time. But what I want to talk about, before we get to the song version of what this show means to us and has meant to us, I want to just talk for a moment about what the show means to us, what it meant to you then and what it means to you now.
Well, I think seeing the whole show was very powerful. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like I'm in the minority in feeling like the actual overt queerness that's on the show like didn't have the biggest impact on me. Like I'm really glad it's there, but the show felt so queer before there was any actual queerness on it. Like there's so much focus, very similar to sort of the X-Men otherness vibe.
I think that, I mean, queer, when you're saying queer, it means like that word means a lot of things. And I think that there is a queering that happens with the character of Buffy, like that the character of Buffy kind of queers the stereotype of the female character, right? I mean, I know that we typically hear the word queer and use the word queer commonly to mean, relating to sexuality, relating to gender identity, relating to these things about how we interact with the world. But I actually love the word queer because I think it talks about how we take something that the world expects and we flip it on its head, and that it's like more of a verb. And so I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense, that this show is queer in a lot of ways that are not just the overt, queerness that we may see going down the line. But yeah, and that is not why the show impacted me. It wasn't. I mean, that was a piece of it, of course, but it was really this idea of getting kicked, falling down, and standing back up again. Getting kicked, falling down, and standing back up again.
Hell yeah.
That spoke to me and that speaks to me. I think that as a woman, we don't get to see. I mean, more and more we do. We're seeing more strong characters, more nuanced characters, more complex characters. But in the 90s, that was a really developing thing. And as a teenager, especially, wanting to kick a lot of ass and being full of energy and creativity. And especially, for both of us, I did theater, you were doing music. We were both creative teenagers with a lot to say and a lot to like express. And I think a lot of teenagers are in similar spots where there's so much happening then. So to look at the television set for you as a teenager and to see this character doing those things, and not just Buffy, right? I mean, you all listen to this podcast, I think. So that we talk about the other characters a ton. That there's so many complex characters that let you see so many ways of being a person, so many ways of being a woman, so many ways of being a fighter that I think is so powerful.
And now the show has, this whole added dimension of meaning for us because we're coming together with you guys every week to discuss it in detail and then to craft, a piece of art based on it.
Ugh.
And we get to read your emails and see your tweets.
It's so incredible. You and I talked about this a little bit a couple of days ago where, I was talking about when you create something artistically that is so powerful that it not only lasts forever in the minds and the hearts of millions, but that it inspires other people to create art on top of that art or art from within that art. There's something so powerful about that. That's why I sighed heavily, as you were saying. And we're creating songs about this because it's not to like pat ourselves on the back like, oh, we make such great songs. It's just, it means so much to me. I can't explain. Every time I think about the fact that we are going to get through season 7 and have 7 volumes of music inspired by this brilliant, groundbreaking, life-changing series, I get the chills. I really do. I think it's just, I couldn't imagine, creating something and knowing that people, and because we're not, we're one of thousands of people that continue to create art based on the series, whether it's visual art or music or written pieces or, there's just so much that comes out of that. And that's just so powerful.
It's really amazing. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. And if you have sensitive skin, you're going to want to hear about their scientifically proven topical supplements. Free from over 1,500 chemicals and preservatives that can make skin red, irritated, or itchy, their products are safe for sensitive skin. It's just one of the reasons they've earned the Skin Safe seal of approval.
They've also earned the Jenny Owen Youngs and Kristen Russo seal of approval, if I do say so myself, Jenny.
I couldn't agree more. I've been using OneSkin for a few months, and after a few weeks, I remember it like it was yesterday. I texted Kristen and I was like, maybe she's born with it. I looked in the mirror that morning and was like, oh, things are happening, and I am happy.
I have used a million billion skin products, and I did not think that I was going to switch off of the skin like lotion, the moisturizer that I used and the under eye cream that I use because I have used them for a little while and I really like them. And I've switched completely, which is a pretty big deal. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code BUFFERING at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code BUFFERING. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and if you can, please tell them that we sent you. It's like when one Slayer dies, another Slayer is born.
Oh my God.
It is, though, like we know this mythology that, that there will be a Slayer forever. And I feel that way about this in a meta way, that like the series is over, but there are like billions of fucking Slayers that have been created by this series and that slay in all these different ways. And that it's so cool. And the series, if you've been listening to the podcast, that recapping the series right now in 2017 has extra weight to it because we find ourselves in a country and in a world where we're fighting a big bad very, very overtly, where we're seeing horrible things happen in our country and in our world, and we are fighting actively against that. And we're feeling what it feels like to sometimes fight and not win and fall really hard. And so to be able to rewatch this series with all of you as we go through that, like, come on, this is the coolest shit ever. This is my favorite thing I think this is my favorite thing I've ever done.
It's like the biggest slumber party I've ever had. No, it's like the second biggest slumber party I've ever had.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just building a mythology about my previous slumber parties.
Yes, you've had a slumber party that lasted more than 4 years.
Yeah, with more than,
More than
however many people are
20,000.
listening.
Yeah, it's just so special, and not to put too fine a point on it, but we're both so incredibly moved to be able to be doing this together with all of you and to be hearing from all of you. My favorite thing in the world is sitting down in our email inbox and reading the emails that you send and the love that you send us and the facts that you send us and the, just cool shit. All that is great. I feel like we just made so many new friends.
Seriously.
All because of Buffy.
Thanks for being with us.
Yes. Thank you all. And thank you, of course, to Joss Whedon, and to the entire cast and crew and all of the writers, everyone who worked on this series. Thank you for giving us something that holds us up still 20 years later. And I am 1,000% positive that in 50 years, this series will still be holding us up. And that is incredible. So thank you all. Happy anniversary to all of you. And with that, we have a song.
Crushing just how heavy things can get. 1,000 albatrosses around my neck. Feeling like I'm the only one who's down on the floor. But I don't have to be lonely, need the weight of the world. 'Cause I see you. You see me too. It pulls me through to watch you do what you do. 'Cause you've got demons to fight, wrong against right for the rest of your life. And I'll have battles to win without and within for as long as I'm in this skin. I hear a lot about what I should be. It's weird that no one thought of asking me. Got me feeling like I'm the only one who's different inside. How could anyone know me? They don't get what it's like, but I see you. You shine right through in all you do. You show me how. Now I've got demons to fight, wrong against right for the rest of my life. Battles to win without and within for as long as you live. La da da da, la da, la da, la da da da, la da da, la da da da, la da, la da, la da da da, la da da. We've got demons to fight, wrong against right for the rest of our lives. We'll have battles to win without and within for as long as we live.
That song that you just heard is available for free for everyone forever. And you can get it by going to bufferingthevampireslayer.com. It's the first post you'll see. You can click on it. You can listen to it. You can download it. You could put it on your device. You can listen to it forever. We hope it brings you joy. And hey, if you know anyone from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, maybe they wrote on the show, maybe they acted on the show, maybe they just love the show as much as you do, will you do us a favor and tweet at them or write on their Facebook wall or share in any way you know how to let them know that this exists? We would like for them to know that we love them, we care about them, and we made this for them. But we also made it for all of you. And we want to let you know that we are gathering at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time today on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BufferincCast, to watch Season 1, Episode 1, Welcome to the Hellmouth, to celebrate the anniversary. We also are sure that some fun things are going to happen today that have not happened yet at this hour. And so, you can always follow us on Twitter or Facebook at BufferincCast to get our opinions and takes on anything that we may see. We have heard rumors and seen things that we're going to at least get some kind of a photo shoot. So we'll be all over that. But please do join us later on March 10th, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, facebook.com/BufferincCast. We will watch the episode together with you.
Absolutely. Till next time.
Ooh, happy birthday. Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talk to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich,
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
actor Ewan Ryan,
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
and so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
A bloodbath tonight in the rural town of Chinook.
Everyone here is hiding a secret.
4 more victims found scattered.
Some worse than others.
I came as fast as I could. I'm Deputy Ruth Vogel.
And soon, my quiet life will never be the same.
Realm presents a 30 Ninjas production, Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.